Welcome to Mental Detox episode 6, everyone. I actually am sorry for not posting, but I hope everyone had a good Thanksgiving, and today I have a really fun interview to do, and I enjoy this, and I'm glad I could be back and make more videos since I was off campus. Didn't have the equipment to use to make these videos, but I wanted to address this video to more of the athlete standpoint of us athletes, that kind of how we think and how we live our everyday life. So today I have my friend Jalen to do an interview with me.
How you doing, man?
How you doing?
Good. Thank you for having me.
Yeah. So Jalen and I, we both go to the same school. We both play basketball. Me at an early age, I played basketball my whole life, and that was kind of what I relied on. And Jalen also playing basketball, who's actually super good. We all play basketball for different reasons, whether that's for mental health, whether that's for coping mechanisms, or even stress relief. And this is my opportunity to ask Jalen, what brought you to play basketball?
So, growing up, I played basketball pretty late. I started playing basketball when I was 10 years old. Mm-hmm. My dad introduced the game to me. 10 years old is pretty late to others because, a lot of people started playing basketball when they was 3, 2, But I found joy in playing basketball, picking up a ball. I found joy in it. Not gonna really say at the beginning it made me happy because he was mainly forcing me to get better at it instead of enjoying it.
Yeah.
So throughout the years, I found joy in it myself, and I got better at it. I'm still not at the point that I want to be at, but I'm learning how to enjoy the game instead of overthink about it.
Yeah.
But it made me happy. Playing basketball. Just fun with the journey, going to school for it, just continuing to progress with that. So yeah, I like basketball a lot.
When it comes to basketball, at least for me, it tried to keep me out of trouble, but it didn't. Do you use basketball as a way to keep you out of the things you're not supposed to be doing, or stay focused on school?
Honestly, from moving away from home, at first, when I was at home and I was playing basketball, I felt like I didn't need basketball to stay out of trouble, But since I've been away from home, I still haven't, I don't get in trouble. I'm a good kid, And then even if you're not a bad kid if you make mistakes, but I feel like since I've been away and it's just me, my parents installed for me to progress without having them. But certain times when I don't play basketball or I had a little injury that kind of set me back where I really wasn't myself, so I really didn't really play.
Yeah.
So it was I feel like with what you said, it really do help me stay out of trouble, but staying to myself keep me out of trouble too, just watching film, watching certain interviews, I read a lot too. Okay. And just staying mentally focused, trying to, that keeps me out of trouble as well. So
when we talked about mentally focused as well as basketball, has there been any times to where you're in a bad situation in your life to where you just go to that basketball court?
That's a good question because a lot of people you'll interview or see on other interviews just from big platforms, they'll tell you, yeah, I go get the basketball when I'm not mentally stable. But with me, yeah, honestly, yeah. But another thing is I'll say no as well, because with me, like I said, with me to stay mentally focused, I'll just stay to myself and regather mentally. Because with basketball, I feel like that's something I'm trying to do.
Yeah.
I could do a lot of things in life, which is not just basketball. It's a lot of things, but I feel like I take that so serious that I can't have my mentally ill, my mental health that's not focused. I can't put that with basketball at that time if I'm not mentally focused, because I would be half stepping with basketball if I do that. So I just stay to myself, isolate, get back mentally. I listen to music, literally listen to music. But yeah, I wouldn't really say I go to basketball if I'm not mentally focused. I feel like that wouldn't be a real answer if I gave you that one.
So what I see a lot with friends of mine, friends I've seen, they're all different, but there's a bunch of athletes that I know that they didn't make it to the point that they wanted to make it. So they took a different route, and that route was more unhealthy for them, such as drugs, violence, more of that dominance assertion that they did. And there's also other people that took the route of, okay, I didn't make it in football or basketball, so I'm gonna focus on my school and hopefully have this backup plan. So with that said, if you didn't have basketball, who do you think you would be today?
So without basketball, honestly, I felt like to this point on, I would still be. If my dad never gave me a basketball, I'll still be successful because how my mom at an early age, my mom installed so much in me. Like I had to grow up fast.
Yeah.
Like when I was 11, I knew so much.
Yeah.
Like, I had to grow up super fast. I'm an old soul. So it was like without basketball, I'll still be successful. Like, cause I know so much. So I don't know how to move with certain situations. I don't know what I want to do. So yeah, without basketball.
What would your backup plan be?
For now, or just like if I never had basketball?
You never had basketball.
I know how to act. I'm a great actor because I got a lot of character. So I know how to act. It's a lot of things. I know how to talk to people. I can help people, like psychology, sociology, like help people. It's a lot of things. Like with basketball, I can use basketball for my brand, like because I work so hard at it. I take it serious. Like my mindset, my mental is like my mindset is very, So it's like I don't know. It's just I don't give up. It's just,
you said something about your mom installing a lot into you. I feel like I can relate to that. At a young age, my parents always try to put me on that right route to program my mind to think, okay, this happens, this is what we should do to keep ourselves going up and keep ourselves going forward. So I said this in the earlier podcast. My dad once told me it's 10% what happens to you and 90% on how you react. And even to this day, I take that with me on how I carry myself and how I respond to people and things that happen to me. So you say your mom has installed a lot into you. What was one of those things that your mom has installed in you that impact how you go today?
So with my mom, it's a lot of things. First off, I'll go with what I say. I've been saying this a lot lately, perspectives, Yeah. My mom installed in me that's perspectives in everything you do and being humble. But, when you're humble, and she told me this since I've been younger, when you're humble, you can be humble, help everybody out, which that's me. But, you don't really notice what I'm about to say till you grow up. Yeah. Because I'm so humble to the point people try to take advantage of you. But my intelligence level is high, so you can't do that. But it comes to the point that my mom installed with me, be humble. And it's perspectives and everything. So always have a good balance of perspective, see every perspective where somebody's coming from, but never let nobody play with you. Like play with your emotions, play with your mental. Don't let nobody take advantage of you.
What was one of those hardest lessons that you understood but you didn't really took and put in yourself until later in life?
Basically with really just my first time when I made the team in 7th grade for basketball. And around that time, I wouldn't really say I was working hard when it came to basketball. I had it kind of natural. I'm not gonna say I was really good, but for a 7th grader, I was okay. So I made the team, and that's when you could try out 7th grade. So I made the team at Creighton Middle School, and I remember like perspectives when a coach talked to you and he's hard on you, because I'm used to that, because my mom is really hard on me, and my dad super hard. So it's like when he was hard on me, I liked it. I was just like, he's being hard on me. He want to see the best for me, because you don't really know a coach's true colors, but he was actually, kind of like, he's picking, because he was picking. But I didn't really understand it. So that's when I really realized, dang, like perspectives. Like he was trying to play with me, but my intelligence level was so high, he couldn't play with my intelligence. So we bumped heads, but I wasn't disrespectful. I don't know everything, but it's just perspectives. You just know certain things. Like if it was installed in you from a parenting level, you know certain things when it's happening. So that was one of the most.
So for me at least, I played court basketball with a great coach. He actually coached Marvin Bagley, DeAndre Ayton, to a point to where when I was having troubles in my own family and just things going on, so I sometimes went to my coach. He wanted us to call him uncle, wanted us to feel like he's more than just a coach. Do you ever have that a part of your life, and what impact did that make on you?
I always did have that. I had that all my life with my father, when my father's always been that person. And the thing about my parents, that's a good question, because the thing about my parents, I don't always go to my dad when something happens, like even basketball or anything, like you just said, how you go to him, which is good. But my dad taught me, I'm not always gonna be here. Like either he leave, or he ain't gonna always. Let's just be real, he ain't always gonna be there. So he always taught me, he always gave me the blueprint on how to, like, it's like a mental thing, just how to get that, like get all of that, like everything you go through, and kind of don't bottle it up, but kind of like learn how to like get all of that off your chest by yourself. But like sometimes it's not meant for everybody. That don't mean you ain't weak, but it's not meant for everybody.
Everyone's different.
like it's not meant for everybody. Some people have to go talk to somebody, but with me, I feel like I don't really have to talk to nobody.
Yeah.
Like even though it hurts some days, but then some days I just, that's why I stay to myself. Some days,
Okay.
I just get it off me, like detox it.
Yeah.
But yeah, for sure, I'll say my dad. My dad, my dad, really. Yeah.
So this podcast is wrapped around mental health, and with that said, I kind of want to know, from you personally, your personal experiences, what was the lowest point of your life, mentally, physically, both, to where you're just like, I'm struggling right now, and I don't know how to keep moving forward.
So a point in my life when that was going on was really when, like, it's been other ways or other problems when that had occurred, but I'll really go with the main agenda was probably like 4 years ago, 3-4 years ago, when I had lost my little cousin in a car wreck, and the situation was pretty crazy. But when that happened, that had really, that was the first time I really, because I had lost some people before, but like that really had hit me. So when that happened, like that was the first time I ever really cried about something like that. I had really, that hurt me. And then a month later, I had lost a friend, so that had really hurt me too. Like these close people too.
Yeah.
So that had really hurt. So when that happened, I kind of like, because my mental before that was still good, but it'll be some days,
Yeah.
But then it got like on a serious level where it just gotta take it personal.
Yeah, so is that when you shut down, or is that when you kind of move around differently?
I wouldn't really say move around differently, because I always did that. Because like I said, past experiences, so it was always a little trauma. But then I guess that's when I really like all the bottled up stuff is when it released,
Okay. So for me, when stuff like that happens, in the present time, I'm struggling. I'm struggling to get through. I'm struggling to acknowledge, hey, this is where I'm at mentally, and this is why it happened. But over time growing up, I'm just like, I didn't like that it happened, but it taught me something super important. So losing your two close peoples, what was something now that you could say it taught you and it helped you build in the future?
Honestly, with losing them two, it did teach me a lot, because through life teaches you in general, like everything, So what it taught me was really that it taught me just really use little things as motivation. That wasn't a little situation, but that gave me a lot of motivation.
Yeah.
So just imagine what the simple things can do. Like it always taught me just have a chip on your shoulder too, like just for anything. It could be the simplest thing, like somebody can say something to you, like, and it could be like a friend, like not even a hater. It could just be somebody that's a friend. Like he could say something to you, like it could be a joke, and he could be a solid person, but just take everything in consideration as motivation. Like I'm gonna prove them wrong. Yeah. And even if they're not on that level, like when it comes to like really doubting you, but just use it as motivation, to keep you going. Always have a chip on your shoulder.
And something I see a lot out of you personally, which I think everyone's different, and something that I relate to you is on how we dress. I feel like me and you both dress casually well, to where I want to know, is that a way to keep yourself confident, or what's your secret to dressing the way you dress?
A secret to dressing is be yourself. You hear that in anything you do. People say be yourself, but no, for a simple answer. But no, for real, like be yourself. Like everybody can't like dress the same. The world wouldn't be right. Like the world wouldn't be shaped. Like everybody, it's supposed to be different. Like it's an opinionated world, so it's supposed to be different agendas with dressing. But with me and clothes, like from what I like to wear, I really consider that. I give all of that to my mom and my dad, because they've been somebody I looked up to when it came to style since I've been like 6 or 5. So I never really was influenced by seeing somebody with clothes or like what they had on. I just always gave that to my parents, and I just grew up with that type of swagger, just from being myself and being me and not changing up about that.
Do you think your clothes improve or decline your mental feeling? Because I grew up believing, even recently, if you want to feel good, you gotta dress good. There's been times too where I'm in my dark days and I'm dressing horrible. I'm dressing shirtless, pajamas, going to Walmart or the smoke shop, and I'm just like, I don't even feel good because of the way I'm carrying myself. Do you believe that the way someone carries themselves could impact how how they feel on the inside?
I do believe that because you can have a bad day, but you can put on something, and clothes equals confidence, but clothes do equal clothes equal a lot of people coming to you. Like somebody could come to you and be like, oh yeah, I like that. Clothes equals a lot of. I mean, clothes can equal anything. Like, I mean, when people give you, I don't know, it's like clothes just really can make you happy. It can shape up to be something you wouldn't even know. Like, and that goes for anything somebody wears. It don't got to be nothing crazy. It can be something simple. But what shapes you, because I love giving people compliments. Yeah. Because clothes do equal compliments as well. Like, clothes that's a very fascinating thing. Like, wearing clothes. Like,
yeah, I believe it's like people say you got to carry yourself humbly. Carry yourself as in, okay, you carry things mentally, but you also carry things physically. So, as an athlete, I see style very popular from an athlete's point of view, to where I also see how that's the way that we carry ourselves to make us feel good ourselves. And another thing from an athlete's standpoint, even my own point of view, to where music, like you said, you just like to listen to music. Some people like to make music. I personally like to listen to music. How has music helped you from your point of mind and your mindset?
Music helped me like more than anything, because I don't come from a music background, but then I do. My dad was really big on music. Okay. So he's super big on music. He knows a lot of people that are high in the game when it comes to music, like right now. So music, like from his standpoint, I always was in the music world. It was always music and basketball when it came to my dad. Yeah. And I have a friend, he actually makes music when he, how I listen to music when I got a friend that make music when he feels like, he just like doing it. So I be around music all the time, and people I like to listen to when I kind of, it's a lot of people, but like we're talking about mainstream people, like I like almost everybody. I listen to everything. I listen to rap, pop, gospel. Like I love music. Like I'm a real music guy,
So what musician or what rapper, what singer influenced you the most on the way you see the world, the way you see things, and the way you carry yourself?
That's a good question. I can give you an answer, but the people I name, it's not gonna be all of them. Yeah. But like as of now, I listen to a lot of Dirt, a lot of Nipsey, a lot of the regular mainstream people. And if we're talking about, it's a lot of artists that I listen to that I couldn't even name right now. Like it's so much, like in the pop industry. Oh yeah. And not in the pop industry, like I said, Dirt. I listen to a lot of Juice WRLD.
So do you like the storytelling that they tell that you can relate to yourself?
Yeah,
or do you like
for sure.
How they give you a different perspective on the things they talk about?
All types of music give you different perspectives, but I feel like with the storytelling, I can relate to. Okay. So the storytelling, I can definitely relate to. And then seeing what I know about the artist, just from the outlook of everybody knows about him, and how he shaped up to be, I can relate to a lot of that. But in my standpoint.
So I'm assuming, I don't know, me and you were both in Columbia. You said that you went to AC Florida, which I actually know that at high school. And I wanted to know, you being a basketball player, what friend group do you usually hang around in high school?
So with my friend group in high school, I hang around people that I grew up with. Okay. I'm not the type of person that hang around people like I am, but if I grew up with you, you're always in my corner. It's never gonna be, I'm never gonna forget about you, because I need you more than anything. Yeah. Like I can't, you made me, like you helped me shape up to be who I am, believe it or not. But if we're talking about like new friends I met, new friends, I wouldn't say new friend group. I never got to a new friend group.
What I mean by new friend groups is I see it as twits. There's a popular group, the athletes, the non-popular, where you put yourself in the group of the athletes.
So with that, I'll really say I'm neutral, because and at Florida I always was, people say a popular person, but I don't like the word popular, but everybody knew me. But I made sure everybody was good. Like if you weren't a guy like that wasn't as cool with everybody, then I'll come talk. Like you can hang with me. Yeah. Like because it's just standpoints, it's perspectives.
Like people, making people feel like.
I feel like that's what it's all about, though. Accepting people.
So that actually removes my other question, but in high school is actually a hard time for a lot of us. Trying to figure out who we are as a person, trying to figure out where we fit in, and also trying to figure out what do we want to do? Was there anything in high school that you done that if you go back to high school today, you would change?
No, because I feel like if I never went through those stages, I know for a fact the stages I went through in high school, I wouldn't be here, or I wouldn't be where I'm finna go. Because I can always regenerate on what I did there and how it motivated me to where I got, and I'm gonna continue to grow from little small things, small details. So no, I don't. I'm happy that happened. I don't regret anything.
So what were the stages in high school that molded you to be who you are today?
Really, on a school standpoint, with just helping me through everything, I'm gonna go with the basketball point from the coach I had.
Okay.
Where when I was a freshman, I bumped heads with him because he had me on a higher level, but he moved me down because I wasn't ready, he said. But he was right, I wasn't ready. Yeah. And usually kids be like, yeah, I was ready, but he was hating on me. Like it was some points he really, I feel like he didn't give me a chance, but to myself, like I was not ready.
Okay.
Like it's a couple, I can name 11 things I need to work on in basketball. That I just in general, I wasn't ready. So we bumped heads a lot, but I really thank him, and I told him that like recently, probably like some weeks ago.
So as well as staying on the topic of basketball, was there any other sports that you play that kind of gave you the same feeling as basketball?
So like I said, I played basketball when I was 10, but I used to play football. Okay. But I was okay. I felt like with football, I liked football a lot. Like with football, I really did. I liked football a lot because I had uncles who went pro and things like that. So my uncles always were football people, but my dad molded basketball in me. I didn't want to play at all. I remember one day he made me go to the park. He forced it on me. It was hot. I was crying. Like I was crying. Like my stomach started hurting. Like I didn't want to play at all. I was 10. I did not want to play. Yeah. Like I was really acting like a little girl. Like for real. I did not want to play. But it just grew on me. I was always dribble the basketball. I used to put like a bag around the basketball. Yeah. I seen Kyrie do it. Yeah. I used to just dribble it with my offhand, my right hand, dribble my left. Because I'm dominantly left, but I use my right hand most of the time you see me play. But I was dribbling with my right hand and everything, like it just shaped up to be something. So
when it comes to basketball, at least for me, when I played basketball, I always looked up to people. When I was in middle school, 6th grade, they called me Asian KD because I was just a skinny little Asian boy that just kept shooting the ball. And then growing up, it was Jeremy Lin because I am Asian. Was there any basketball player that you looked up to or anyone kind of resemble you to?
Resemblance, people have said a lot of people, but I really don't look at what people say when it comes to resemblance because I don't know. Yeah, but when it comes to like who I looked up to, and I'm gonna tell you why. Like I like Dame because the approach he brings to the game, like his playing style, I like it too. But I don't really take a lot from him. Like when it comes to the shooting and things, we're kind of different on mechanics when it comes to that. But when it comes to just his approach, how he comes to the game, stay prepared, that. But mainly it was Kobe for me. Okay. I'm a big Kobe guy. Like I'm a big Kobe guy. Like
so when
even
he died, it was just
that hurt me. Yeah. Like I'm a big Kobe guy. Like the mentality, all of that, like the everything. Like I take so much things from Kobe. Because of course I'm not the same size as Kobe. I'm not 6'7". Like let's be real. But like the footwork point, the pump fakes, the mid range, I take since I was little. Like I try to perfect that.
So from a mental standpoint, I know for me, I believe it's never good to compare yourself to anyone else. Life is always about you versus you. When you start comparing yourself to you versus everyone else, it becomes unhealthy. It builds more of an arrogance than a humbleness. But when it comes to sports, as in, hey, this is the level I'm trying to reach, so I'm gonna look up to him. Do you think for people chasing their dreams, whether that's football, whether that's basketball, whether that's anything that they're doing, that when they make it, they're up here, do you think it's healthy for them mentally to look up to someone?
With that, honestly, I feel like that's a yes and a no question. The yes is, like I said, the topic, perspectives on everything. So you can have a perspective from people you can take stuff from and like soak it up from what they tell you. You may look up to somebody else, but you don't really know the real him. So you don't know what his personality is really like and things like that.
Of course.
So I wouldn't really say looking up to somebody is the main point, but just soaking in what people tell you soak in everything, be coachable through life, not even through sports. When I say be coachable, you don't even have to play sport. Just learn how to listen,
So I agree with that. I think that's also a big issue that a lot of people have. What does that mean to you, and even for people listening to us that may not be as coachable, to be coachable?
With being coachable, it's kind of hard for a lot of people who think, who a lot of us have ways where we just have pride, and you don't want to learn from others.
Yeah, of course.
But you got to, because you may know something, but just don't say anything, because they may know more about that, what you know about. It's a whole difference between what you know, but they know about it. They know more about it. So it's a lot of solutions to everything. So I feel like being coachable and like being able to listen and hearing everybody's perspectives, because it's an opinionated world, like I said.
Oh, yeah.
I feel like that'll help you through life, because if you know everything from every side, or know how to figure out solutions to understand points and stuff, it'll just help you through life. I feel like you can be successful with that.
So I think for all of us, we had our time out in our lives to where our pride is up here and it should come down here. Was there a time for you to where, hey, if I'm gonna learn and grow, my pride got to be down here? Yeah. Was there a time that you had to do that, and what time was that?
Mainly, that was probably this year. Not even this year. I felt like, honestly, I'll be lying if I said this year. I felt like that was my sophomore year.
Okay,
because my freshman year I had a lot of pride, a lot of pride.
Oh yeah, me too.
And my sophomore year I was like, I gotta juggle that off of me. I had to juggle that off of me. So that's when my dad and my parents, because I always listened to them, and I wasn't listening to others. Like, I was respectful. I'm the most respectful kid you'll probably meet. But I mean, when it came to just like certain things, I wasn't really being coachable. But when I became coachable to everybody, everything for me expanded. Just through life. Because like I said, I grew up fast, so everything else expanded. So it just made my context with everything even bigger. So I felt like, yeah, for sure.
Okay, so with that, I think for me, being able to put down my pride was being able to recognize that it is me versus me. I grew up always trying to look at this dude over here and be like, how can I be better than both of them? And I learned that it isn't really about who are you better than. It should be the person you are today, the person you are tomorrow. You should be better than the person you are today. And that was the time to where, okay, everyone's different, which I highly motivate everyone to hear this. It's okay to be different. I see it as a box, and if we're all in the same box, we're all average, and average is kind of boring to me. So it's always nice to step out the box. But being like, hey, I put down my pride, and now it's me versus me, but all these people that may be better than me, instead of trying to be better than them, I'm like, hey, like, what shapes you? Because I can always take tips from someone else to build who I am myself. And that leads me to the other question, to where, was there friends or influences that you had that kind of shaped you, or that you took tips from to build you a better person of yourself?
Yeah, most definitely. So when I was growing up, it was always I'll go to my grandma's house, and she was staying in a rough neighborhood.
Yeah.
So I always go there, and kids out there, they love sports.
Yeah,
that's mainly that's what they got. All they have is sports, and some of them may not like it, but they play it. So I go there every day. I wouldn't be home. I'll be at my grandma's house every day, and we'll be playing football, basketball, but it gave me a tough nature of everything, like in a good way. Like in sports, it gave me like a nature where you just have to be a tough person, not be a tough guy, like but like just don't be scared and have no fear. It taught me how to have no fear in life, like just in general, know how to look somebody in their eye, know how to talk to somebody, just know how to carry yourself. Because at first you'll think they bullying me when we playing sports, push me down, get me tougher. I was like, like, dang, I don't like these people. But then I kept coming back every day, every weekend. So it was like, it had to be a reason. God was making me do it for a reason. So, I grew up and I seen how everything just shaped to be. And I'm like, hey, I'm happy I went through that, man. I'm happy that happened. I'm happy I kept going to my grandma's house. I'm happy I met those people. So, yeah.
So, the last thing that we're both in college now, and a lot of people that I know that I stay in touch with, there's two sides. The people that had a purpose to be in college, whether that's college football, college basketball, and the people that didn't go to college at all. What brought you to the decision of, I'm gonna go to college and I'm gonna do what I do now?
You know, with me, it always was education, but then again, it always is basketball too.
Okay.
But when you could put both together and just, 4 years could go quicker for an athlete if they like their sport. And not every athlete likes school, but you got to do. You have to.
Yeah.
So unless you want to play, or unless you want to be, with that, you have to do the other part too.
Oh yeah.
So with that, it just came with it. I like it. Like it just comes with it. So I'ma like it for sure. And for others, my advice would really be just follow with what you really want to do. Like as an athlete, I just explained it. For as just a person, you going to college for a reason. Like you know why you go to college. You know what your goal is. You're not finna just I'm gonna try this out. Like some people do. Like I'm gonna try this out. And may not like it, opt out, whatever, and just kind of like if they have a backup plan or whatever they want to do besides that, But no, you don't need it. You don't need it like when it comes to just being successful as a human. You don't really need it. There's so many other ways to be successful, but I have purpose to why I'm doing it. But it's for others. If you want to do it, it's a great choice. Like you will be successful if you stay locked in and focused. But for others, if you really don't really want to do it, you're not missing out. Like, and I'm just saying that based off what people tell, like just all based off like the simple things. Like you can be successful without it. We've seen a lot of people. We've seen you've seen it. Like everything's in the So you really that's all it is. It's just shaped up to be like what you want to do. Like what's your perspective like? Like if you're locked in enough and you have enough motivation, you can do anything without college or without school.
So that's actually the end of Mental Detox episode 6. I really enjoyed talking to you. I hope everyone does like, comment, and subscribe. So with all that said, toodles.